Hello folks, how are you doing? Welcome to the vlog. My name is Shaun, a YouTuber from Edinburgh in Scotland, and today is Burns Night, one of the biggest celebrations of the year for Scottish people. So in today's vlog I thought I would do a wee bit of a reading of one of Robbie Burns' most famous works, To a Moose or To a Mouse. For those of you who don't know, Robert Burns or Robbie Burns was a poet who lived in the second half of the 1700s. His works are famous worldwide and he was responsible for putting Scotland and Scottish culture on the map. Burns Night is celebrated by us in Scotland by a Burns supper, which is basically a haggis dinner that we eat in Scotland, and people throughout the world celebrate this. There are readings going on today all around not just Scotland but the whole world, celebrating the life and the work of Robert Burns. He is an absolute Scottish legend, and through his poems he was a storyteller and a worldwide celebrity of the day. And I thought in today's vlog, since I'm very far from home, I would do a Burns reading, and I'm going to read out, as I said, To a Mouse, To a Moose, which is one of Burns' most famous poems, all about a mouse. And while I do this reading, there is going to be some gorgeous drone shots of Scotland that I have been taking over the last couple of years, so I hope you enjoy that as well. Let's do it. Wee sleeket, cowran, timorous beastie, oh what a panic's in thy breastie, thou needna start a was sae hasty, we bickerin brattle. I would be laith to rin and chase thee with murd'ring pattle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies the ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt na whyles, but thou may thieve. What then, poor beastie, thou maun live. A daimen-icker and a thrave's a small request. I'll get a blessin with the lave and never miss it. That wee bit housie to naroon, it's silly was the winds a strewin. And nathan now too big a newin, o foggage green. And bleak December's winds ensuing, baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields lay bare and waste, and weary winter coming fast. And cosy here beneath the blast, thou thought to dwell, till crashed the cruel coulter past, out through thy cell. That wee bit heap o' leaves and stubble has cost thee money and weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for a thy trouble, but house or hold, to thole the winter's steely dribble, and cranierach cold. But mousie, thou are no thy lane, in proving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes o' mouse and men gang after the ugly, and lay us naught but grief and pain for promised joy. Still, thou art blessed compared wi' me, the present only toucheth thee. But och, I backward cast my ye on prospects drear, and forward though I canna see, I guess in fear. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, I would very much appreciate if you would share it with your friends and family, and follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course YouTube as well. So that was a reading of Robbie Burns' To a Mouse or To a Moose, one of his most famous poems, all about a wee mouse. But it's actually really deep. I think in the context of when this poem was written by Robert Burns in the late 1700s, it was a time when the Highland clearances were in full effect. There were lots of people working the land and yet very uncertain about their future, right? Robbie Burns, as someone whose family were in farming, he had great appreciation for the worry that a lot of the farmers, people who worked the land, would have felt at that time. Great Britain was in a period of uncertainty and a lot of people were being cast away to the colonies basically, and Robbie Burns used to write that into his work, and that is a definite underlying theme. But also here we're talking about a mouse really, and the other themes we could talk about here are Robbie Burns' appreciation for nature and man's interaction with that nature, how man's affecting the landscape and the lives of other creatures that live on the land. I think as well, like, it's just incredibly forward thinking at those times for a person to have any compassion for a mouse. In those times, even today obviously, mice are total vermin, especially if you're a farmer, right? So for him to write back in those days of compassion for a wee mouse, it was written from the perspective of someone who had recently just ran over and destroyed a mouse's nest. It's really deep, and it has lots of meanings, hidden meanings. And you know, I think for me, just this appreciation of life and nature is really incredible back then and today. I think the great thing about Robbie Burns is he transcends the times, and he always has done. And that is why his work has went on to be so famous around the world, and is why we in Scotland celebrate it today. A Scottish person who has made an impact on the world. Robbie Burns is one of them. He was a storyteller of the day. One of the things about Burns Night and Robbie Burns is for people of Scottish descent around the world, not just people in Scotland, but people around the world who have Scottish heritage or people who are Scottish who are not currently in Scotland, like myself at the moment, like I'm in Brazil right now. Rabbie Burns and Burns Night just evokes this sense of longing and missing Scotland, and I think that is what it is for me certainly, and that's why I like to keep in touch with Burns Night and do this reading, because his work inspires a feeling of Scotland and being there, even if you cannot be physically. It kind of puts you in Scotland's landscape. Dúran Dríri as it is at this time of year. Such a Scottish legend in terms of his work. Absolutely. The impact that he has had culturally on Scotland and the Scottish image around the world is pretty incredible. For those of you who are interested in Burns Night and what it means, that is a bit about it, a bit about him. The man who lived in the second half of the 1700s. And like I said to you on New Year's Eve, we sing Auld Lang Syne, which is sang not just in Scotland, but all around the world, the United States, Canada, Australia, basically everywhere is English speaking, sings Auld Lang Syne on New Year's Eve, and it's a Rabbie Burns poem. And for me, what I find interesting about Rabbie Burns is the impact he had as a storyteller. He used the medium available to him in those days as a storyteller and a promoter of Scottishness and Scottish culture. And I do like to contrast that medium that he had in those days with what we have now. People are making videos online, people are making blogs, all that kind of stuff, modern storytelling. And if only I had a crystal ball, I would love to know if people who do storytelling in the modern formats on video and all that kind of stuff will have as great an impact as Rabbie Burns did. Of course, Rabbie Burns did get a bit of fame while he was alive, but most of his fame accumulated after his death. So I guess that is one of the great unknowns, right? We will never know really if our work will transcend the times. All we can do is be storytellers while we're on this earth. And I think that is what Rabbie Burns teaches us. Celebrate your culture, celebrate all that is good about the world and mankind. Do not smooth over our faults and badness, and basically document. That is the big thing about Rabbie Burns, documenting realities. So that is it, Burns Night in Scotland. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you are celebrating, and whether you're around the world or whether you're in Scotland, happy Burns Night. Sadly, I'm not in Scotland at the moment, or I'm in a place where haggis is available. I am there in spirit. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will speak to you again really soon with another vlog. Good night, and take care.